You won't believe what really happened to Miss Trudy. For over 9 months now, she disappeared from the internet. No explanations, no clarity, just silence. But behind that silence was a nightmare that nobody saw coming.
The first miscarriage, then the second miscarriage, then the third miscarriage.
6 miscarriages, endless hospital visits, millions of shillings spent on medical bills.
5th miscarriage, and the 6th miscarriage, and it's like, God, like, what do you want from me?
A surgery that cost over 1 million Kenyan shillings. Doctors told her that she could never have children. She was breaking, mentally, physically, emotionally.
I felt so lost, so confused, so alone. And the most difficult thing is it was so hard to keep it private. People working in the hospital most of the time would know me.
Locked inside her own house, battling depression, feeling like a science experiment.
5 months or half a year just wasting my time, you know. When I go to hospital, some nurses would know me and it would be so embarrassing.
Even her own father only knew half the truth. Her mother cried in silence. Family members whispered, speculating about infertility. And through it all, one person refused to give up on her. But that is not all. Wait until you hear what happened next.
Oh, you're having miscarriages because you had abortions when you were a teenager. I'm like, what?
Just hours after opening up about her darkest secret, Miss Trudy and Wode dropped an announcement that has left the internet in shock. A pregnancy. After 5 years of pain, after 6 losses, she calls it a miracle. And once you hear the full story, you will understand why this moment broke the internet.
Oh, I said I'm not gonna cry. So some doctors said I couldn't get pregnant. Some doctors said I needed to do different surgeries. Guys, it got to a point where all my monthly salary just went to medication.
On January 11th of 2026, a date that will forever be etched in the hearts of millions across Africa, the popular content creator Miss Trudy, whose real name is Gertrude Awino Njeri, broke her 7-month silence with the news that left fans around the world in tears. But this wasn't just any announcement. This was the culmination of a journey that is so painful, so heartbreaking, that even hearing about it will shake you to your core. For months, her fans had been asking questions. Where is Miss Trudy? Why has she disappeared? Some blamed her husband, renowned Ghanaian YouTuber Wode. Others speculated about divorce, career burnout, or personal conflicts. But nobody, absolutely nobody, knew the devastating truth that she had been carrying in silence.
If you count the medication plus the treatment after and the surgery itself, it's expensive. And after the surgery, that's not it. You still have to take medication.
The truth about 6 miscarriages, the truth about creeping depression, the truth about feeling like a science treatment, and the truth about medical bills that drained every shilling she earned. 9 months, that is how long Miss Trudy had been gone from the digital world she helped build. Her last upload had been in June 2025. Then nothing, radio silence. The woman who had taken her audience across Africa, from the bustling streets of Nairobi to the hidden gems of Ghana, from the breathtaking landscapes of Ethiopia to the vibrant cultures of Uganda, had simply vanished. But this disappearance wasn't about taking a break from content creation. This wasn't about rebranding or finding herself. This was about survival. This was about a woman fighting battles so private, so painful, that she couldn't even share them with her own father.
I just want to be pregnant. I just want to be a mom.
While fans speculated online, Miss Trudy was locked away in her home, not because someone was holding her captive, but because she was holding herself captive. Captive to grief, captive to depression, and captive to the unbearable weight of loss after loss after loss. Imagine waking up every morning knowing that you have lost 6 pregnancies. Imagine looking at your own bank account and seeing it drained by medical procedures that didn't work. Imagine feeling your body betray you over and over again while the world expects you to smile for the camera. That was Miss Trudy's reality. But here is what makes this story even more devastating. She was going through it mostly alone. Her father, Rufus Ateng Juma, only knew about 2 of the miscarriages. Wode's mother also knew about just 2. 4 of these heartbreaking losses were carried in complete secrecy between Miss Trudy and her husband. Why would she hide such pain from her family? The answer reveals the depth of her character. She didn't want to stress them. She didn't want to burden the people she loved with her suffering. So she suffered in silence month after month, loss after loss, while her body and mind slowly broke down under the weight of it all. But that is not all. Wait until you hear about the financial devastation this journey brought with it. Over 1 million Kenyan shillings, that is how much Miss Trudy spent on a single surgery. 1 million shillings. Every month, Miss Trudy's income was being swallowed by medical bills. Every collaboration she had secured, every brand deals that she had signed, and every video she uploaded, the money wasn't going toward building her dreams. It was going towards trying to fulfill one dream, which was becoming a mother. 5 years of walking in and out of hospitals so frequently that she felt like a science experiment. The constant poking, prodding, testing, scanning, and injecting. The same questions asked over and over by different doctors. The hope that built up before each appointment, only to be crushed by another disappointing result. September of 2021, that is when doctors delivered the news that would have broken most people completely. They told Miss Trudy and Wode that they couldn't have children. Not, it might be difficult, not it could take time. They said they couldn't have children, period. But here is where Wode proved the depth of his love. Just 3 months after receiving that devastating diagnosis in December of 2021, he asked Miss Trudy to be his wife. He knew the struggles they would face. He knew the pain they might endure. He knew there might never be biological children, and he asked her to marry him anyway. That is not just love. That is commitment, that is partnership, and that is the kind of devotion that redefines what marriage means. After the wedding, things didn't get any easier. They got harder and much harder. The miscarriages started, one after the other, each one bringing a new wave of hope, followed by a devastating crash of grief. 6 times, 6 separate occasions, where Miss Trudy believed she might finally become a mother, only to have her dream ripped away. Each miscarriage wasn't just a physical loss, it was an emotional devastation. It was another surgery, another hospital stay, another round of medical bills, another explanations to give to doctors, and another secret to keep from family, which was another reason to question her own body. The depression that followed was like being buried alive. Miss Trudy wasn't just sad, she was drowning. She was suffocating under the weight of expectations, her own expectations, society's expectations, and family expectations. The pressure of infertility in a culture that often defines a woman's worth by her ability to bear children was crushing her spirit down. She locked herself in her home, not just physically, but emotionally. She withdrew from the world because facing the world meant facing questions she couldn't answer. When are you having a baby? You have been married for a while now. Is everything okay? Maybe you should try this treatment or that doctor. Her social media went silent because she had nothing left to give. How could she create content about exploring beautiful places when she couldn't even find beauty in her own life? The speculations began. Fans noticed her absence. Comments flooded in. Where is Miss Trudy? Is everything okay with her? The last question that hurt her most, people were blaming Wode for her disappearance. They accused him of suppressing her dreams, of controlling her, of being the reason she stopped creating content. The cruel irony was that Wode was the only reason she was surviving it all. In her recent video, Miss Trudy addressed this head-on, her voice shaking with emotion. Guys have been talking negatively about how getting married kills dreams, blaming my husband every day, not understanding that my husband has nothing to do with my depression. In fact, he has a lot to do with why I am okay today. He has sacrificed so much. While the internet was vilifying him, Wode was holding his wife through the darkest moments. He was scheduling her appointments, he was paying medical bills, he was holding her when she cried, he was being the partner she desperately needed when nobody else even knew she was struggling. But even with Wode support, there came a point where Miss Trudy hit rock bottom, where the depression became so overwhelming that she couldn't see a way forward. This is where the 7-month absence becomes clearer. This wasn't a strategic break. This wasn't a planned hiatus. This was a complete breakdown of someone who could no longer function under the weight of her grief. Mental health after repeated pregnancy loss is seriously underestimated. The trauma compounds with each loss. The first miscarriage is devastating. The second makes you question if something is wrong. The third makes you feel broken. By the sixth, you feel like your body is your enemy and your mind is unraveling. Add to that financial stress. Every month watching your income disappear into medical bills. Every successful video or brand deal reminding you that the money you are earning isn't building your future, it's trying to create a future that seems increasingly impossible. The shame played a role too. In her culture, in many cultures, a woman's ability to bear children is unfortunately still tied to her value, even though medical science has proven that infertility affects men and women equally. Society still places disproportionate blame on women. Miss Trudy internalized this. She felt like she was failing. Failing as a wife, failing as a woman, and failing as at the most basic biological function that millions of women accomplish without even trying. So she isolated and withdrew herself. She locked her doors and shut down the world because facing the world meant facing her perceived inadequacy. And then something changed, something that defines the odd, something that doctors said couldn't happen, something that Miss Trudy herself called a miracle. In late 2025, Miss Trudy became pregnant again, the 7th time, after 6 devastating losses, after doctors said it was impossible, after 5 years of medical procedures. Imagine being pregnant for the 7th time after losing 6. Every day is filled with fear. Every slight pain makes you panic. Every doctor's appointment makes you feel like waiting for bad news. You can't let yourself be happy because happiness means having something to lose, and you have already lost too much. Miss Trudy and Wode lived in that state of suspended anxiety for months. They didn't announce it immediately. They didn't celebrate publicly. They waited. They held their breath. They prayed. They hoped, but they didn't dare believe it was real until time passed. Weeks became months. The pregnancy progressed. Medical checkups showed positive results. The baby was growing. The heartbeat was strong. Against every statistical probability, against every past experience, again, every doctor's prediction, this pregnancy was different. On January 11th of 2026, they finally allowed themselves to believe. They finally decided to share the miracle with the world. Wode posted first, sharing stunning photos of Miss Trudy in a white gown, her baby bump proudly visible, while he knelt beside her, kissing her belly, and the backdrop was breathtaking, skyscrapers, petals, and candles, creating a scene that looked almost otherworldly. But it was his caption that broke hearts around the world. September 2021, we were told we couldn't have children. In December 2021, I asked her to be my wife. In September 2022, we got married. After 6 heartbreaking, failed attempts in getting kids over the years, in 2025, we became pregnant again. Through every challenge, every loss, and every tear, our journey is a testimony of resilience, faith, and hope. God is the greatest. Now, Miss Trudy's miracle reminds us that hope is never completely lost. As we celebrate this pregnancy, let us also honor the 6 that came before it. Let us remember the years of struggle that preceded this moment of joy, and let us acknowledge the mental health battles that are never truly over but can be managed. If this story touched you, share it. Maybe someone in your life might be going through the same thing, similar to the one of Miss Trudy. Your share might be the encouragement they need to keep hoping. Leave a comment, share your own experiences if you are comfortable, or simply add a congratulation comment to Miss Trudy and Wode. This comment section is a safe space for healing and support. And remember, miracles happen, not always when we expect them, not always in the ways we imagine, but they happen. Miss Trudy's miracle is proof of that.